Welcome to LUTV News InFocus, where we feature interesting topics on campus, in the community, and in the world of culture. I'm Jonathan Tippett.
Just look at tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun with a high of 83 and a low of 58. We can see that.
In 2015, you may have seen Travis Myers delivering the LUTV News 5-day forecast with a bit of comedy and a great deal of personality. Myers was also the first host of the award-winning After LUTV. Since his time at LUTV News, he's used his talents in music, acting, and content creation to enter the world of advertising and filmmaking. The latest short film that he directed, Motel Night, won the Platinum Award in the Best Dark Comedy Short category at the 2019 Independent Short Awards. Travis is here to tell us about his time at LUTV News, what inspires his creative work, and what's on the horizon. Travis.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
It is good to be here.
When was the last time you were in the studio?
Actually,
pretty recently, huh?
It was pretty recently for a little B-roll assignment I had to shoot some stuff for Lamar, but actually sitting on your side of the desk, 2016.
Yeah, you come back to Lamar semi-frequently, which is interesting. We'll get into that, but first tell me about the time you did spend here as a student and the things you did at LUTV.
Well, back in my day, I was a Lamar student not too long ago, and we had classes together.
We did. Full disclosure here, we had classes together.
So I saw somewhere, probably in the communication department, a flyer like audition for the weatherman or to be on LUTV, and I was like, that would be fun. That'd be fun to just try out. And so I tried out, and
on a whim.
On a whim, kind of. Yeah, I'd never thought about broadcasting at all. I was like, hey, that's a fun thing to audition for. I need to be more involved on campus. And then my audition was terrible, but I still got a spot as the weatherman for the LUTV web show.
Not terrible enough to escape.
Not terrible enough to escape. And I had way too much fun with it.
Way too much.
Way too much.
Tell me a little bit about. I've heard tell that you had some gimmicks. Tell me about your gimmicks.
I had some gimmicks. I made it rain with some money. I pulled a feather out of my jacket one time because it was sweater weather, feather, and just I could trying to think of all the things that rhymed with weather.
But you mentioned to me before that you practiced too. Tell me about your practicing.
So, I come from somewhat of a theatrical family. My mom sang opera in Mexico, which I think is a strange fact.
Yeah.
But she didn't speak
No, that's totally normal.
Yeah, she didn't speak any Spanish, but she sang opera in Mexico and was always in plays, and so a lot of my sisters were also theatrical. So when she found out that I was doing the weather, when she found out I was doing it like the next day, she's like, well, what are you going to do for the weather tomorrow? And so I'd tell her, like, well, you need to practice. And so I'd practice with my mom for maybe an hour before the show or the night before the show, and then go on the next day, and people loved it, man.
So after your time at LUTV, what have you done since then? Like, where'd you go after that, and where are you now?
To Orange. I didn't go very far.
Yeah, no, it's not too far.
After that, I met some friends in the department. So I met Kevin McGee, who was the producer for LUTV. I met some other friends in the department, and since I really like film and met some talented people and said, hey, let's do this 48-hour film competition. And so everybody brought their friends together. Some people got invited. We made a film, and we won the Boomtown 48-hour film competition, which was cool. With the Batch Roulette, that was the title of the film, and it was crazy. A lot of people died. It was a great experience.
It's not a film if a lot of people don't die.
It really isn't. Not in my
You need
experience.
that. What about now? What's your current position?
Currently, I am I can't think of the title. No, I'm the media production specialist at Americom Marketing, and we do videos for TextJoy, DJ's Boudin, so we get to do a lot of food videos in the studio.
You get free samples?
I do get free samples.
That's the important bit right there.
And they are wonderful,
Yeah.
every bit of it. And if you'd like to try TextJoy or Boudin or DJ's Boudin, you can go to your local grocery store and pick some up. Anyway.
Oh, don't know where that came from.
No.
So, in addition to your work, though, you still do stuff on the side. Tell me about Motel Night.
Motel Night is a film that I wrote up because like I said, I really like filmmaking, and there aren't a whole lot of opportunities in the area for filmmaking, so I've decided that if there aren't opportunities, you just kind of have to create your own. And I think my wife was watching, what's that show? Supernatural? And they're always in a motel. Like, how do they get all these motels to let them film in there? Probably money. Money's a big part of it. So I was like, I'm going to write a
And
film
how did
about a
you
motel.
get in the motel? Did you just rent a room?
Well, that was the plan at first. But so I started a Kickstarter after I wrote the screenplay, and we raised some money to make it all happen, and then Hurricane Harvey hit, and all the motels and hotels I thought I was going to use got flooded. So that made things a little bit difficult. And so the project sadly got put on the back burner for about a year. And then a year later, from another connection I found, this guy happened to know the East Texas Baptist encampment in Newton, Texas, and they have a motel camping area on their campgrounds. And so we got to use the whole motel area, just free roam, and it was pretty awesome.
Important question. Did the soap taste good?
No, it was terrible.
You actually bit into it, yeah?
Yeah, it was real soap.
It's dedication to the
It was
craft.
supposed to be white chocolate, but I didn't prep.
Couldn't pull it off. Had to do the real thing.
And it really, it hurt my mouth.
Yeah,
for
it
about
looked
3
like
days.
there was pain in your eyes when you're like,
There was pain in my eyes and my mouth
yeah.
and my stomach, my
So,
teeth, and just
what-
everything connected to it.
Just the whole part.
Yeah,
all of
just
it.
all of it.
What your time at Lamar, how did that prepare you for the things that you do now?
I think the biggest thing I learned from my time here at Lamar was the people that I met, the connections I made. Networking is a big thing. To go back in time, the friends I have now are the friends that I continue to make, or the friends I had then are the friends I continue to make projects with. I read a book about networking, and the only time I ever used anything from that book is we had a networking conference here at Lamar, and I decided, well, I'm going to do something about this. I read a book about it. I'm going to go. And there was a guy there named Josh Yan who has been on this
Yeah,
show.
he's right where you're sitting.
He was right here, and it feels good to be in this seat. So I met him, and I heard a little bit about what he did, and like, wow, he does everything that I'd like to be a part of. And so I got his card. I emailed him afterwards, and he later told me, you know, you're the only one that has sent me an email after that whole conference. And so the whole conference was about networking, and I guess I was the only one that reached out to him. So he brought me on something else as a production assistant. I ended up being in one of his commercials, we became pretty good friends. I went to his Christmas party, and there I overheard, like, oh, there's a opening possibly at Americom. Like, oh, okay. And so then he was able to give me a good word from, because I've worked with him before, and so if it wasn't for networking way back here, then I wouldn't have the job I have now. So, and also another thing about Lamar that I really like is that the professors and the teachers, they're interested in your success outside of the classroom, and I think that's really cool. So
it's very cool. Got to wrap things up, but thank you for joining us today. And thank you for watching LUTV News in Focus. To see more content from LUTV News, follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter for more. See you next time.